Today's topic is augmented sixth chords and how to spell them. Every augmented sixth chord includes an interval of an A6 or augmented six. The interval involves altering specific scale degrees within a key. So that is going to be lowered scale degree 6, down arrow for lowered, and raised scale degree 4, up arrow for raised. Both will resolve to scale degree 5. So an example in C major, my augmented 6, I'm going to put lowered scale degree 6, A flat in the bass. There's your A flat. And then raised scale degree 4 in the key of in the key of C is F sharp. So my interval, pretty dissonant. It needs to resolve to scale degree 5 in both voices. By doing so, that interval itself resolves to an octave. So F sharp will go up to G and A flat will go down to G. Also think of your tendencies. Flats tend to want to go down and sharps tend to want to go up. So by voicing the lowered scale degree 6 in the bass and the raised scale degree 4 above it, that creates that augmented 6. So it sounds like this. Here it is again. So your basic structure, you will always have something up here going outward and something down here going outward as well. So it looks like it's crunchy down here and it opens up. There are 3 different types of augmented sixth chords: Italian, French, and German. So let's talk about the Italian first. The Roman numeral label for Italian is IT plus 6. IT plus 6. In any of these augmented sixth chords, you can think in solfege, you can think in scale degrees. So I'm just going to give you both and you can decide what works best for you. So we have lowered scale degree 6, raised scale degree 4. Remember, the scale degree 4 can be anything in any voice above that lowered scale degree 6. Doesn't have to always be in the soprano. And then the Italian is made up of 2 tonic pitches, so just your regular scale degree 1. In solfege, that's 2 dos. Lowered scale degree 6 is lay, and raised scale degree 4 is fi. So from the bottom, lay, do, do, fi, or lowered scale degree 6, 1, 1, raised 4. So the additional scale degrees for this augmented sixth chord, just tonic, do. However you want to think about it. My tip for remembering is to write out Italian, there it is. I have a 1 and a 1, or I have 2 I's, which look like 1s. That's your scale degree 1. I have 2 1s, 2 dos. The Italian chord is always going to resolve to 5. Italian, any of these augmented sixth chords act as subdominants that resolve to a dominant function. So let's voice an example of that. Just like we had before with the intervals, I can put A flat in the bass, and I'm going to put, just so we have room, I'll put F sharp up here for now. And then I just go and add my 2 dos, just so we have no spacing issues. I'm going to put do right here in the tenor, and then a higher do. I know it's not ideal in the alto. We're going to resolve tendency tones first, so A flat goes to G, F sharp goes to G. Now be careful not to have any parallel octaves. We don't want both of these to go to B. I'm going to move the the alto down to B so we can spread out our octave a little bit. And I'm going to move the tenor up to D. So then we have all of our chord members. Your Italian chord will sound like this and resolve to 5. Next, we have the French chord, and the Roman numeral label for that is FR plus 6. Again, we're keeping the same skeleton, lowered scale degree 6 in the bass, raised scale degree 4 somewhere above it. We also have 1 tonic pitch in there, scale degree 1, And then the difference between the French and the Italian is that we have the addition of scale degree 2. So we can copy those solfege syllables over. We have lay, do, and fi, but we also have the addition of re. A great way to remember this one is to write out French, and here is re in French, re, which is scale degree 2. That is the addition there. So our addition, scale degree 2, re. And similar to the Italian chord, it does go to 5, to the dominant. All right, so I'm going to put A flat down here this time, and I'm going to put F sharp up here in the soprano, and we'll put C up in the tenor and D in the alto. So those are pretty close together. Just keep that in mind when you're resolving it. Outer voices, again, are tendency tones. They're going to resolve the same way, out by step. And we're still going to a G major triad. So we have both G's already. We need a B and a D. We can keep that D from the other chord, and then we'll just move C down to B. So that French chord is a little bit more convenient for resolving to that 5 chord. So let's hear how that sounds. Here is your French chord. Here it is again. And then our last type of augmented 6 chord is German. This one is spelled G-E-R plus 6. Again, it still has those scale degrees, lowered 6 in the bass, raised 4 in an upper voice. So lay and fi. Like the other two, it also includes do, scale degree 1. But it also includes lowered scale degree 3, which is me. So this one, the German chord in particular, I advise thinking of it more in solfege, because if you're in a minor key, you're not going to change the 3. But if you're in a major key, you're going to have to alter it because you want me. So that is the main difference here. Lowered scale degree 3, your me. That is the additional scale degree. Tips for remembering this one. Think German. I know it's not German, but German has me in it. Me, scale degree, lowered 3. And then this one's a little bit different. It resolves not to 5 because of voice leading issues, but to the 5-6-4, the cadential 6-4. I do have a video about that. If you need a refresher on cadential 6-4, go check it out on my page. So let's voice that similarly to the French chord. Flat 6 in the bass, raised scale degree 4 in the soprano. I'll put tonic in the tenor. And then don't be like me. Make sure you leave yourself some room to write your E flat. That's an E flat right there off to the left. I'm just so worried about having room to write the cadential 6-4. I forgot about that E flat. So E flat, F sharp right here in the alto and the tenor. Resolve those tendencies first. So that's automatically going to get you that doubled scale degree 5 for the cadential 6-4. Cadential 6-4 spelled like a 1 chord, so we already have 2 G's. We're going to keep this C. And the E flat, since we're in a major key, is going to become E natural. So not much changes. Then, because we've had our resolution of the augmented 6 chord, we can finally get into that 5 chord. So we're going to keep the G's. Double, double, repeat, repeat right there. And then we're going to take a step down in both voices. E goes to D and C goes to B. So we avoid any kind of parallel octaves or parallel fifths. And here's how that would sound. And then if I resolve to 1. And that's augmented 6 chords and how to spell them. Please come back to my page to find more tutorial videos, and there's a lot more to come. Thanks for watching.